I'm Amber Besaw, Executive Director of the Coalition, and my co-host.
I'm Krista Sachersky, the Youth Support Person for the Coalition.
Super excited. We have special guests, and guests plural, today. Yes, my Vanna hands, even though now you can't see them. So we'll do quick introductions. Holly, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Holly Dix, the Youth Services Librarian over at the North Adams Public Library here in town.
Yay! And then
I'm Seth Besaw, ex-413 youth intern and hopefully future 413 youth intern.
yes, and youth participant,
Yeah.
student at your local
Drury High School,
grade,
senior.
senior. There you go.
Do I have to sing the alma mater now?
No, thank you. Nope.
We're like a copyright strike.
That's a different show. So yeah, we decided to do some fun stuff this year, right, Carissa? And one of the things that we wanted to do is highlight our community partners in the community, people that we work with and work alongside, get to collaborate with, and all of that. And so we wanted to kick that off in October, talking about our local libraries. And Holly was super gracious with a last-minute Hail Mary phone call of, can you do it? And she was like, sure, I'll come. And so Holly will be here and we'll talk more about that. We also love to have special guests. And so Carissa, being the youth support person, said, hey, let's get a youth on there once in a while to talk about youth stuff. And so that is why Seth is joining us. And yes, if you did catch it, we have the same last name. We are related.
Can't you tell?
So, all that being said, you're skipping school, so I'm sure we'll hear about that for all the viewers who are watching.
Yeah, I skipped bass playing to be here, so.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good sacrifice.
It
We
means a lot.
appreciate
Yeah, I
that.
know.
So our show's pretty low key, folks. No big things. We like to talk, and so we start off with a lot of talking about what's happening. Carissa, what's happening in the world?
Oh my gosh, so many things.
So many.
First week of programming, kicked off.
Check.
Check. I'm already gluing my eyelids open so I can stay awake. Fantastic.
We have record-breaking numbers this year, if I'm correct,
We
right?
do,
Across
yes.
the 4 programs.
So the Monday night program has 14. Wednesday night has Tuesday night has 14. Wednesday night has 29 that attended, 32 registered.
Okay.
I know.
Wow.
And then,
Piece of Carissa.
yep. And then our Thursday night program, I believe they have 10, possibly 12.
Yeah, possibly 12.
So we are somewhere around the 60, if I counted correctly, marker
That's
for
more.
youth in our program. So record-breaking year. Well done to our youth folks.
I'm so excited, and also please check in on me March to see if
She's fine. Don't worry about her. We're checking on her daily.
No, it's been really, really fun. I'm super excited. It's a lot of new kids. We have more homeschool kids this year. We have a huge representation from Adams and Hoosick Valley.
All right. Well done,
So,
Adams.
Shout out Hoosick Valley and Adams, because we have across the board a lot of Adams kids. Which is,
Did we hit the marker of each of our high schools this year?
we did.
Nice.
Yes.
Also well done.
I set a goal, right? We set a goal to get a young person from each high school in Northern Berkshire County that we serve. I think we did it this year.
Nice.
Oh, I'm excited.
So excited. Seth, your turn. What is up in the world today?
Not much,
Do you want me to slam my jargon?
What's your jargon?
What's up, dog? What be
Well,
happening?
not that jargon. I don't know. I'm part of the Tuesday program.
Yes, you are.
Couldn't be there last week, unfortunately.
Yeah, dog sitting. It's a thing. What's up at school though? Like, what's going on with our youth today?
How's
I
bass
don't,
playing?
I don't even know, man. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Favorite part. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any fun, exciting things happening in the high school?
No.
You might have been the wrong student to have it.
Well, okay, you're
I feel
playing
like
the
you're-
bass. Tell us about what you're doing that for.
School of Rock.
Okay.
It's a class that we have at school that you join a rock band, play with your fellow students. It's pretty cool.
Rock hair.
Yeah.
Between rock and hockey, you just got the flow.
Yeah.
Rocky, if you will.
Oh.
Great.
That's nice.
On that one, we'll flip to the library side of things. What's going on in the library world these days?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. We've been super busy. We have a lot of programming, not only for youth, but adults. Ton of stuff. We have record numbers as well, which is
That's awesome.
insane. We're seeing a lot of homeschoolers as well, Carissa. Yeah, at our programming, which is really cool.
Fabulous.
So we have a monthly teen book club going on right now. We're doing manga this month, so they're really excited. And then we have our weekly toddler time and our weekly story craft. We just did our spooky Barbie makeover, which was incredible. I hope you guys looked at the pictures. on
We did see them.
Facebook.
We actually have a bag of Barbies for you at the office. Somebody brought them too late to get to you, but I was like, I'm sure they'll do something again. So I have Barbies for you
We will
at some
take them.
point.
I did jokingly tell Amber that I wanted you to bring some uncomfortable Barbies to sit as set dressing on the table.
I passed. I was like, I'm gonna pass on
She's like,
that.
no, thank you. And I was like, "Aw."
You would probably get some hate.
Yeah, some of them were.
Did
They
that.
were creatively out there.
They were great though.
I love it.
They worked really hard and they were all so into it. So it was just really cool to see them make their creations. And I will take the Barbies because it is being an annual program.
Nice.
Yes.
So next year will be our third year.
So thank you to Colleen Murphy from Juvenile Probation. She is the one who brought them, and she can't be there at the Northern Berkshire Youth and Family Collaborative next week. So we said that we would make the exchange, so the library still gets the Barbies.
Fabulous.
And Colleen was so enthralled with that.
She was very
She
excited
was.
about it. I think secretly she just wants to be there to do it.
Yeah.
But-
Can we have an adult version?
Oh Lord.
We could. I mean,
Not sure how that would happen.
I don't see why not.
Spooky Barbie making for adults. I would be there.
This is like Carissa's.
Carissa's there, just
This is-
banging on the door.
This is where we need to disclose. Carissa was born near Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Therefore, this is her peak season of the year. She does love a good Halloween season.
I am thriving.
Right. Tonight,
Seriously?
downtown trick or treat, right? Tonight, downtown trick or treat. And then following that, first time ever, the Mohawk Theater has been turned into a spooky haunted house. So the city and some partners, the coalition, I don't even know.
Drury
all-
High School has a
Drury
part.
High School, who else? 18 degrees,
18 degrees, NAPD, NA Fire.
fire, police, yep.
2 jury classes, I think, because it's jury life skills and then maybe something else.
I think it's one of the theater classes.
One of the theater classes, yeah.
Sweet. So a lot of people involved to like pull this off. You know, I doubt the show will be on before that happens, obviously, because it's tonight. But you know, it is going to be scary. That's what I have heard. Spooky. My staff have come back with fake blood all over their hands. Ought to be interesting. But we're super glad. Oh, what do you got?
Do you
Yeah,
spooky?
I
More
do.
spooky.
So speaking of spooky things, the Adult Services Department is doing Ghosts of the Berkshires, which is a presentation and book talk with author Robert Oakes. He wrote The Ghost of the Berkshires and Ghostly Tales of the Berkshires. He is a ghost tour guide at the Mount and Ventfort Hall in Lenox.
Oh, it's him.
It is him. So this will be Friday, November 22nd at 5:30 p.m. And it's at the library on the third
So
floor.
I'm assuming you will post that on your Facebook page.
I will.
You could certainly, we can pick it up and share it on ours. So we'll try to make sure that everybody knows that that's out there. Help get the
Absolutely.
word out.
It's my ideal kind of dinner date.
Totally.
Interesting.
Ghost Rider.
Get Ghost Rider and pizza.
It's Ghost Raider in a different way, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as in like the.
Like
you
a
can
ghost.
pen this for me.
Is that like a ghost Raider?
I mean, if it was a different person, then yeah.
What would you call someone who's a medium that writes only writes for ghosts?
A ghost
ghost rider.
Raider.
Would they be the Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Right, but they'd be a ghost Raider.
Right.
No, because there wouldn't be a ghost writer because there's not someone else writing for them. They're writing it, so they're just a ghost writer.
But who's the editor? I need to know who edits the books for
The
ghosts.
ghost editor.
Oh, I would hate having a ghost editor.
I don't know how I feel about this. Okay. Welcome to
Who
how
works
the
on-
conversations on this show actually go.
Actually,
They
conversations-
devolve and then they re-evolve and then we evolve again. So-
Literally what Fridays at the Coalition look like sometimes.
It's cool stuff. But coming back to the library, since we were kicking off like all the stuff you have going on, one of the things that we really wanted to highlight, because I think it's great to hear that your numbers are so record-breaking. I think, you know, libraries are often an underutilized resource in our community and so valuable to our communities. And so we just wanted to highlight, like, what can you tell us that libraries offer? What do you guys do in the community? What's within that building beyond the books? Because it's so much more than books. And so we just want to give you that ability to like share with people like why our local libraries are so important.
Yeah, absolutely. So libraries offer so much more than just books. We have a fax machine. People can come in and fax. We have, I don't know the actual numbers on it, but I see so many people coming daily just to fax things like their pay stubs and hours to get paid
Timesheets,
for
yeah.
work at timesheets every week. Things for benefits to apply for like food stamps and health insurance, all that type of thing. Just anything you would need to fax, you can fax over there. Also, we have hotspots, which are, they fly off the shelf. We can't keep them on the shelf. As soon as they're returned, they're going right back out. So the hotspots essentially is free internet for the 2 weeks that you have it. You can have up to 10 devices on them, and they work awesome. My internet went out the other day, and I took one home, and I had all 3 kids on Xboxes, laptops, phones, everything. And
We've borrowed it for our
amazing.
movie Nights Under the Stars.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're incredible. We have a lot of organizations that come into the library monthly and use our space so that people can kind of have it as like a middle way
Yep.
to utilize those services. So we have Mass Hire that comes in. They come in actually weekly, which is incredible. A lot of people utilize that as well. Berkshire Community College is in there, promoting their free schooling for adults. And
That's a thing.
it is, so you can get free college at Berkshire Community College, and if you want to learn about it, actually, I have to check that one because it is an adult. Let's see. It's every other Tuesday, 10 to 2 p.m.
All right.
So
Right at the library.
It is, right at the library,
So
downstairs.
you have these adorable calendars.
I do.
just want to like highlight these super cool calendars. Do these go? Do you guys put these on your Facebook page? Where do you find these?
We do. So
Okay.
the first of every month, both the adult, that's the adult calendar, and the youth services calendar is posted to our Facebook page, and then they're pinned right at the top so that when people go to our page, it's the first thing that they
Oh,
see.
sweet.
They're also on our websites. We have them on all of our bulletin boards. We have stacks out so that people can just take them and bring them home. And we share them with other organizations as well. See, there's something for everybody. Amber's looking at it and pointing things out
He plays
already.
D&D. That's why.
And they need more members. They've lost a few recently, I've heard. So they could use some new members, our D&D.
It's the Wednesday night group.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have friends in.
Yeah.
I know the DM for that game, so.
Yeah.
Out me
So
like that? That's crazy.
Sorry. I didn't know that that was something we didn't talk about.
No, it's okay. I'm just
Okay.
joking around.
I know.
Go help them. I think they're doing.
He plays D&D already on Sundays.
It's hard when you have work.
Yeah, jobs.
it is very hard.
Jobs get in the way of life.
And then they
So-
do a Dragonheart.
Adulting, it's so hard. We love it though.
We do.
Do we?
I think so. So I was just looking at the breadth of programs. So like you have all the resource stuff that you were just talking about, but then you also have these like super fun, and I feel like the library often, not just North Adams, because there's libraries in almost every town. I think there's only a few northern Berkshire towns that don't have libraries because they might be just a little too small. But right, so there's Williamstown has one, North Adams, Clarksburg.
Clarksburg does.
Adams does. Cheshire
Cheshire.
does. Lanesboro, I believe, has a library.
They may be part of the school, like Clarksburg, I'm not sure. A lot
Maybe.
of the smaller towns,
Have them in the schools, like
they're
Florida
integrated.
Mountain.
Yes.
Theirs is in the Gabriel Abbott Elementary. But I know for some of the bigger libraries, North Adams, Adams, and Williamstown, they often do like fun things like meet a photographer or have an author and like do some of those things which are really cool and like exposing folks to different kinds of literature or different kinds of things, which is interesting because like it's all, you guys got yoga. I mean, like you can like read and work out in the library. Like you can get it all, the whole mental and physical health thing.
Right.
Also in our public libraries.
I love that.
So there's essentially there is something for everybody. It's not just about books. The programs that we offer are meant to be entertaining, but also educational. So there's a lot of educational components to those programs. Or maybe it's just what you're saying, working out. So yoga, it's for your physical health, right? So all of the programs are really meant to help fulfill your life and make your daily They
I
better.
didn't realize you guys also ran a drop-in grief support group.
We do.
That's good.
So that's newer.
Okay.
And so far it's been going really well.
Who runs that for you guys?
That one, I believe, is, I have the flyer for that.
Thank goodness, right?
I know.
This is
There's
what I
so,
have to do.
There are so many that it's just, it's hard to keep track of, but I know I have it.
I know we've gotten a few calls in the last few months for folks looking for that grief support group. And
Yeah.
so it's good to know that that's something that we can be able to, I wonder if it's on the back, does it say?
It should be. But, yep.
Living with loss. Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's hospice care.
Oh,
It's a
great.
lady from hospice care. And they've had quite a few attendees so far. A lot of people have just been coming and kind of unloading from what I'm hearing, and it's been a great outlet just to kind of talk and not have it be somebody who's so close to you.
Yep.
You know, so it's been really great for people so far.
Great
I
way
can
to build.
imagine that's also a great gap because I would assume, you know, with loss, not everybody might need a therapist or a counselor.
Right.
Just a space to like just talk through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so much value in that, right? It's just another resource that I don't think we think enough about is like support groups. I think that stuff like
Yeah.
that's fabulous. I do.
And it's a great way to build community,
Yes.
right? Like, so, well, that's not a community I think many of us will really want to step into, but it is a community that often folks fall into for life reasons. It's great to know that there are other people who can be around you that understand what that's like, and so that's super cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, questions for our librarian. Do we have any?
I did joke with Holly that we were going to ask her the hardest questions imaginable. I am going to ask you as a librarian. Give me someone comes in the library and they said, and they are like looking for a book that they think will really hit home for them. What are 3 books that you would recommend someone to pick up?
Well, it depends.
An adult, we'll
And
say.
you really got to give me a hard one. Okay, so as a youth services librarian who reads a lot of,
Books?
so I do. I typically fall under YA, so
So
more
perfect.
new adult, young adult books is kind of.
I am a 19-year-old then, if I want a book.
So Goodnight Moon's not on the list.
What do you mean? Goodnight Moon's a fantastic book.
Yeah, well, is it really young adult though?
No.
Sure.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
There's a lot of philosophy in there.
True.
I have to ask a few questions first.
Okay.
Okay, so are you looking for something that is fantasy based, or are you looking for fictional, like real life, this could happen?
Fantasy.
Fantasy? Oh, so you're totally like me.
The real world's for the real world. When I read, I want to escape into it.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, I would offer a book. Well, hang on, let me ask one more question. Do you like romance at all?
Yes.
Okay, so you would have to read Sarah Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I would say if you're looking for fantasy and romance and you want to kind of start off with like a bang, so to say, then that would be the series for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone was reading that last year.
Oh.
I've heard I have some friends that just picked it up. So.
It's all over TikTok.
Yeah, no.
So there's book talk on TikTok and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say you see in terms of like young adult, adolescent, like the top books that the youth are reading right now?
Manga.
Manga.
Absolutely. Yeah. So manga is very popular. My daughter over in the corner right now watching us is reading a manga series as well. Our teen book club chose to switch to manga for the month of November, and we may end up staying with it moving
Yep.
forward because it is just so popular. I've spent the last year and a half really building our manga collection,
Nice.
and most of it, if you come in and see, they all have new stickers on them because it's flourished incredibly. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend the other day ask if the library had any manga, so I have a better answer now.
You do.
I knew that they did, but
Well, you read manga.
yeah.
So
Well,
what's,
I've read one manga.
oh, just one?
Yeah.
Didn't you read Berserk?
I did read half of Berserk.
Yeah.
So that's a manga.
That is
So as a youth,
And
what?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, obviously.
Obviously, I'm still watching that on Netflix. It's a true story. We're watching that. What is your recommendation for youth literature?
Youth literature? So I read like an old person
I know.
because in 9th grade I read Les Mis.
Also true.
That's fabulous.
I don't know. In terms of books that I have been reading, because it's all over the place. There's Lord of the Rings, Starship Troopers, and a couple Warhammer 40,000 books. Krieg's a good one. Very good. Very introductory. Lord of the Rings, classic. Very good.
Except that man can spend 300 pages just talking about a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You really got to settle into that one.
Yeah, you gotta be like ready to like.
And
snuggle up with a
Starship
book.
Troopers isn't for everyone, but
No.
I think it's good.
All right. Amber, what was your favorite book growing up as an adolescent?
That's very different. I was a huge Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
From probably the age of 13 and well into my later adolescence. But my favorite book that Stephen King wrote, which is a really lesser known book, was Dragon Eye. And that was Stephen King's dip into the fantasy realm. Have you read that one?
I haven't, but
Fantastic.
I've eyed it. The thing is I either love Stephen King's work or I hate it. And I'm like, I want that to be one that I would love.
So which ones do you like of Stephen King?
Goodness. Well, the Holly one that just came out was
Oh, I
amazing.
see. I don't read him anymore. I've sort of branched off, but I think this one, if you like fantasy, you will like this one because it's nothing like what he normally would write. And I remember reading it and thinking, this is not Stephen King.
Yeah.
This is so weird. But it's the one book that I actually still kept. So I have an original copy. It's so beat up, paperback version of the book. That I won't get rid of. It's like on my bookshelf and will always stay on my bookshelf. But it's like kings and knights and, stabbing people in the back and chaos and power and control. It's like all of the good stuff about medieval. So that was probably one of my favorite books. I don't know. I'm trying to think that. I don't know if I had any other ones.
Yeah.
I had a weird literature experience in my adolescence. I was all over the place. So,
Fair.
yes.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we are. Favorite book from your adolescence?
It's very hard to ask the kid who hid in the library.
It's like asking someone who their favorite child is. I totally get that. Or asking like my husband what his favorite movie is.
Or
There's
his
not an
favorite
answer.
record.
Right. You just can't do it. But if you were to think of a book.
I really liked. I'm an old person. I really liked Dante's Inferno when I was in.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dante's Inferno was something I.
What?
Have you read Dante's Inferno?
Half of it.
Okay. Interesting.
So I really liked Dante's Inferno. I was and always have been a big poetry nerd, so I always carried around a giant book of Edgar Allan Poe's poetry that I would just read to my leisure.
Did enjoy Edgar Allan
I
Poe.
knew that about you already.
Yes.
It's not hard to know that about her.
It's so great.
It's my comfort thing. Like, if I'm not having a good day, I'm like, oh, I should just read The Telltale Heart, and then I feel better.
It's an interesting choice for a bad day.
Because I could be at least I'm not him.
I mean,
Right, it's
could
true.
be reading The Crow. I feel like.
Oh.
That's dark. That's dark. Cool. I was going to ask another question, and it just went out my mind. Questions for the librarian?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
I mean, all the questions that we have asked have been pretty good and pretty satisfactory.
I'm happy to hear that.
So just as we're thinking like we're winding down, I don't want to forget about what's coming up for the coalition in November, and so the forum. And you mentioned mass hire, and so that sort of reminded me to talk about what is happening in November for the community forum. September, we did our community assessment. We had a bunch of people, and we talked about this in our last show, that what came out of that was so different than what we've talked about over the last few years. Like, we didn't get the normal like needs and concerns. And so last month we had a bunch of folks in from across the community to talk about projects, infrastructure, capital projects, things that are happening, what's happening with the hospital is now that they're open, all the way to, the Glen in Adams was opening on that day, so they weren't able to join us because they couldn't be in two places. We celebrated that as well. But the next thing on our docket for November is local economies and workforce. And so folks really wanted to talk about what is the picture of our local economies in North Berkshire. You know, we are no longer a manufacturing community. While we do have some manufacturing, there are other economies that are growing and becoming bigger. And so what does that look like? What are they? I think I start to get a little shocked when I start to think about like, oh yeah, those education is an economy,
Yes.
healthcare is an economy, human service, you know, like those are things. So we'll be talking about some of that, and we'll have some folks from Mass Hire and some other things to talk about workforce and some of the challenges that we're seeing in the community. I think, you know, as an employer, we can certainly commiserate with folks that when you have open positions, it's super hard to find folks to fit. And what does that look like? And so what is the growing need around workforce? In December, we will be going to the First Congo Church in Williamstown because we love to move our forums and have them in different places. And we're hopefully, the goal is to be talking about the status of parents and what is parental mental health look like in our community right now. And what are we doing and how are we supporting each other as parents? And, you know, we often talk about it takes a village. You know, and I really want to dig into that. What does that mean? I think we've misunderstood the concept. The village wasn't supposed to take over for parents. The village is supposed to surround parents and help them. And so how are we creating that? So that's December. Big topics, not necessarily fun topics, but interesting, thought-provoking, we're hoping. So we'll hope folks will join us. Second Fridays, 10 to 12. That is when we'll be there. Any other upcoming things we want to throw out there as we are winding down?
The neighborlies.
The neighborlies. Oof. The neighborlies. If people are doing great things, tell us. Fill out a neighborly form. Make sure they get recognized. We have categories for youth to talk about what they're doing in the community. We have categories for groups like libraries pulling together to get things out there and provide for our community. And so while it's not about like, hey, Carissa, you did your job. That's not what a neighborly is about, but it's like, hey, Carissa, you did your job and you did so much more. Or you helped us outside of your work, right? And so we really just want to celebrate our community and all the good things that are happening. And that will be November 20th. Yes, November 20th from 5:30, I believe, till 7 at the MCLA Church Street Center. And we're hoping to have a party. You know, pre-COVID, we would get about 400 people there. We're looking to do that again.
Yeah.
We want to celebrate. So it's our last minute, and so Holly, thank you for joining us and being here to talk about the library, and thank you for being here and being part of our community. We love libraries. So 2 thumbs up for the library.
You're welcome.
If you haven't gone, go.
Go to the library.
Seth, thank you for being here to add to our conversation and be present and thoughtful. And then what I do with our last 30 seconds, quickly, final thoughts.
Final thought. Happy Halloween time, best time of year. Go do something spooky and safely. Come out and join in the community. We have so many things going on. Come out and see what's going on and be part of your community, please.
And in November, Drury Performing Arts is doing Clue. So come see that.
Sweet.
Go see that.
All right.
I got to be stuck in the rafters the whole show.
So in November, you can come see my child be stuck in the rafters at Drury.
No, you won't
That's
see me.
our-
I'll be in the ceiling.
That'll
with
be
the
our
lights,
final
you know.
So thanks for watching, and we will see you next month.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.